Hey, my fellow Schneider compadres, friendly Bill coming at you. I am in my personal vehicle driving home for home time. I was out on the road for 30 days or so. Now I have some days off. The good news, Schneider got me home on time, and I salute my DBL, Mark. He said, Bill, don't worry, I got you, buddy. I will get you home on time. I was a little bit nervous because I was all the way down in Phoenix, Arizona. I needed to be in Portland. Got a load headed up to Stockton, California. Got a load going to Hermiston, Oregon. And I thought, oh, surely they're going to give me a load to Portland. I may even be home early. But no, they gave me a load up to Kent, Washington. And now I'm getting nervous. So I'm up in Kent, and it's the day I'm supposed to be home, and the receiver took 6 hours to unload me. So now I'm really like, oh boy, I'm not going to get home on time. My DBL Mark took care of me. He had a load pulled off. They were trying to give me another load. They pulled that off, and I got a load to Portland on the day that I'm supposed to be my last day. Okay, so when you are going home, there's a few things that you should do with the truck. Okay, so let's say you have a load, let's say you have a relay or a trailer, and if you have a trailer and the task is drop empty at Schneider, you need to drop that empty. You're not supposed to stay hooked up to it even though it's empty or whatever. If the task is drop empty, you need to drop the empty. If you have a relay, you need to drop the relay, actually disconnect. So there's that. Secondly, there's some things you need to do to the truck to prep it for leaving, okay? So let's say you dropped your trailer, you park the truck, okay? You get everything out that you want to take with you, and before you actually leave, you go through, you make sure and log off duty. After your post-trip, log off duty. One thing, DVIRs. If you're going to be gone for like 3 or 4 days, you need to go to the DVIR tab and go and put no DVRs required for such and such days. You need to do that. So let's say you're off for 3 days, so you go to the date, today's date, you go no DVRs from this date to this date, and you hit enter, and then it doesn't expect any DVIR reports from you. Okay, I also suggest you check your messages just to make sure there's nothing on the tail end of your day. Just make sure you look at your messages, just make sure, okay, you did that. You got everything out of your truck. The windows are up or cracked at least. I like to pull the curtains when I leave the truck for a few days. I just figure it keeps it that much, few degrees cooler in the truck. I don't know why I do that. I mean, a hot truck probably doesn't really matter, but I like to pull the shades when I leave the truck. The next thing you need to do is you need to disconnect from the Wi-Fi. So you're going to go to the Wi-Fi button, hit that, and hit disconnect. You're going to disconnect from the Wi-Fi. You're also going to log out of the tablet. So go to the home screen, and there says log off button. You hit that. You wait for it to say you want to make sure you want to log out. You hit yes, and you log out of the tablet. Then I like to disconnect the tablet. I disconnect everything in the truck that could even possibly draw power, because I know that something that can be plugged in, even if it's not on, it can draw power. And there's not much more of a crappy feeling than when you get to work, you got an assignment, you're ready to go, you turn the key and it goes brr. Okay, so shut everything off, unplug everything, log out of the tablet, log out of Wi-Fi, get everything done that you need to do before you... Okay, a thing I need to get better at is leaving my vehicle, my personal vehicle. So I go out on the road for a month at a time, and believe it or not, a lot of things can happen in a month. Your battery can totally drain, your fluids, if there's a small leak, even if it's a drip, it can drip all of your fluids out in a month's time. And I actually had that happen. So I get to my vehicle, I get all my stuff in it, I'm ready to go. I turn it on, I'm going to let it run for a couple minutes before I get on the road, just to let, kind of ease the engine into it again, so I left the engine running, and I went in and used the bathroom and just double check the big truck to make sure that everything everything was in order, and I came back to my personal vehicle and the temperature gauge was pegged at hot. This vehicle has never done that before, and I was like, what the hell? So I popped the hood, I looked at the coolant level, and it appeared to be full, but it wasn't full. What had happened is the coolant left a sort of a stain on the reservoir, and it looked like it was full, and it wasn't. It was actually completely empty. My coolant had completely leaked out. So I got some coolant, replenished it, problem solved. And I checked the oil. I know there's things, and I'm going to look it up on the internet, but if you have tips, please share. But I know that there's things that I should be doing to keep my vehicle raring to go when I come back. Because a month, 30 days is kind of a long time. A lot can happen in 30 days, especially during the winter. You know, if you have a string of really brutally cold days, your battery can drain, and but the fluids, that's a big one. So if you have any suggestions on prepping your vehicle to sit, please share those. Okay, last but not least, I am just a driver. I'm getting close to my 5 years as a company driver. The things I talk about are my experience. I don't have any special contacts within Schneider. I don't have any strings I can pull. I don't get paid to make videos. I don't have the most experience at Schneider. There are probably hundreds of drivers that have more experience than I have, and if you're curious about that, when you just look at go into an OC and look at the wall, I mean, there's a lot of drivers with more miles, more years, more experience. So I don't pretend to be the grand wizard of Schneider trucking. I am just kind of giving my experience as a relatively new driver. So I just want to put that out there. So if you have, and I don't mind you people asking questions. I like the comments and I like the questions, but sometimes I don't know the answer. So like if you're asking me really specific questions about the bulk division or intermodal, I don't really know much about that. So if someone asks me about that, I say, you know what, I don't really know. You can either look on YouTube, see if there's any YouTubers that do bulk or intermodal, or you could just talk to Schneider directly. You know, just give them a call. I'm sure they'll be happy to answer your question. So that's pretty much going to be for today. You know, just talk a little bit, see what's up. I am headed home for home time. I'm picking my kids up from school tomorrow, and I'm going to be with them for a few days. And I don't make videos when I'm with my kids because they are my number one. They get all my attention. So have a good week, weekend, whatever you may be having. Have a good one. Schneider drivers,